Good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. No announcement by Celtic as yet. No announcement from Celtic as yet. Let me just put this screen over here. That'll free things up. We have went out and got two monitors, so things should be a lot easier, and we shouldn't have any mishaps like we did the other evening. And the teams. Let me just get this up. Install. See, there are plenty of people in the chat this evening. Is that there? That's the other side. I need to bring that around this way a bit. I just sort the monitors. Lots of people in the chat this evening. Tell me what you think Martin O'Neill's team will be this evening. Hail from Dublin. Hail from Dublin. Fantastic part of the world. Let me just turn this microphone up just a tiny little bit. Thank you. Oh, a cup of tea. Nice cup of tea to warm me up. I'd have went for something alcoholic like, but no. Oh, where's that screen just gone? I've just got rid of that altogether, so we'll get that back up. Good evening, Bats in chat. Ali Boy says we are doing a watch along tonight as well, so make sure you join us for the watch along. Hopefully the results go our way and we get top of the league. Yeah, hopefully it does, doesn't it? I mean, it would be fantastic. Could you imagine that? Because that would just put Martin O'Neill into complete legendary status, as far as a lot of fans are concerned. Because if you think about it, I mean, to go top of the league tonight, there's a bit of Celtic news coming out. Interesting. Celtic are looking for centre backs, and let me just see, because there's a bit of news coming. Three, 4, 3. Talking about Rocky Bagnorovsky. Started only 12 matches. That'll be interesting to see if Rocky does come back to Celtic. I don't think he'll be coming back in this window, but you never know. You do never know, right? I need to go down to here. And I'm going to put this here. Make this bigger. Need to get in, get everything ready for the team news coming out. Martin O'Neill's first team. Tell me in the comments how you feel about Martin O'Neill in his last ever game for Celtic. And Celtic have put a picture out. The lights at Paradise. Oh, they've even got somebody with a drone. Celtic's got someone with a drone picture of Paradise. That looks beautiful. I need to get that on the screen for you, show you that. Gorgeous picture of Celtic Park. Must have been taken just after sundown. And it's absolutely beautiful. And hopefully I'll see that in 2 weeks' time. You know what I'm saying? Get that up on the screen. Get that picture of Paradise this evening. That's just gorgeous, isn't it? Celtic have obviously got a drone up in the sky. Or maybe it's a police drone. Maybe it's a police drone that's took pictures and they've just sent them to Celtic. Just saying. Just saying. But anyway, let's jump back into some of these comments. Nancy's in London. He was in London this afternoon, mate. He'll be in Glasgow by now because he's taking in the game tonight. Taking in the game tonight. Let's get that picture back up at Celtic Park because it's just gorgeous, isn't it? We'll put that up there until the team comes out. Because I mean, a lot of us missed that more than anything. It's the one thing that you do miss. You know, it is the bus journeys through. After being on that the underside podcast last night, I think that it makes you miss going to the football even more. And see when you move away and after going week in week out every single game, not missing a game, and then you miss it, and you miss it more than ever. Hail, hail, Baz from the Oslo Celtic Supporters Club. I love that, mate. Love that. Absolutely love that. Why is that not got? Let's put a star next to that so we can get that back up. Baz Martinelli came back, the legend, and the legendary status is enhanced. It is that, mate. It's enhanced more than ever. Lorna's gutted. We'll miss seeing him in his tracksuit. You never know. Maybe, hopefully, Brother Wilfred, he likes to wear a tracksuit, but Martin O'Neill, do you know what I mean? Kicking about in his 73-year-old, kicking about in a tracksuit at that age. Do you not think that Parkhead needs modernising? Yes, it does. But if you increase the height of the stand, right, Celtic Park's quite unique in the way that it looks. But if you increase it to the way that all these other modern stadiums are, I mean, ideally you would want to knock it down and rebuild it, but there isn't the appetite for that at Celtic, and this is a conversation that could take us way past, because the team's going to come out in 2 minutes, so I need to just make sure that I've got everything for that. It would be fantastic to see Celtic Park, but I think if you just increase the main stand, I mean, ideally you would want to knock it down and start again, but it's only it's 30-year-old now. That's not old in the terms of football stadiums. It's not old at all. And if you make it just like every other, it's just going to look like every other modern stadium. You know, it's quite unique that the fact that you've got these three big stands, and then you've got the main stand that is a nod to the past. And there's not many football clubs around Europe that do that. I think it would be easier than what the board think. I don't know if they've looked at. I mean, allegedly they've looked. There's been a feasibility study to look at the stadium, and it's going to cost 100 million. It didn't even cost that to get built back in the day, but that's the prices of stuff in the UK. It would be interesting to find out how much Barcelona are spending on their stadium, considering they knocked down the Camp Nou, or the New Camp. I'm always going to call it the New Camp. It was called the New Camp before it was Camp Nou, before it was trendy to call it Camp Nou. And they knocked the stadium down completely, as did Celtic back in the day. Oh, they've put a full picture up on Twitter. It's actually two pictures together. That's quite nice, that, actually. It's a better picture, but it's two pictures together, so it makes it look stupid, because it's got a line right down the middle. Anyway, the Celtic team should be out in seconds, so I am waiting on the team come out before we put up the picture again. Martin O'Neill's last team as Celtic manager. Final. Last. It's quite sad. And now that we know that it is the fact that it is his last game, teams that are out, oh my goodness, what has he done? Nothing. He's never changed the team. It's the same team. It's Michael Donovan, Trusty Scales, Sarachi, McGregor, Hatate, Engels, Yang, McCowan, and Maeda. Well, there we go. Martin O'Neill went with the guys that he entrusted to close the gap at Celtic. Give me 5 seconds and I'll get the team up. It's an interesting team. You see the bench. It's Tierney's still on the bench, which is interesting. Let's just replace this. And we'll get the team up now. Get the team up on the screen. That is Martin O'Neill's final team for his last game at Celtic Park. I could have taken videos or photos from there if asked. Helen, do it and send me them on Facebook. Do it and send me them on Facebook. If you've got a drone, and we'll credit you for them, and we'll get them up on the channel so we can see it. So anyway, Michael, Donovan, Trusty, Scales, Sarachi, McGregor, Hatate, Engels, Yang, McCown, Dyson Maida, Sinisalo on the bench, Benji's on the bench, Balak Wishers on the bench. Also, Tenecti, Kenny, Bernardo, Murray. It's pretty much the same team. I'm sure I still have the team from the other game. Yeah, it's the exact same team. So no changes whatsoever from the weekend. And even on the bench, no changes either, which is interesting because there's still no room for Brendan Rodgers' old friend, Kelechi Iheanacho. There's one thing for sure. I'm glad we didn't pay money for him because if you're complaining about Arne Engels being worth 11 million and sitting on the bench, Kelechi is bound to be on a decent wage at Celtic. Walking to the game from Belgrove. If Martin O'Neill can leave one thing behind, let's be his man management skills. All the best, Martin. Yeah, I think that his man management skills has been second to none, aren't they? I think they've been fantastic actually for what he's done at Celtic this time round. I mean, I would actually say, and this might be a bit. Is it OTT? Do you think that Martin O'Neill has overachieved? I think he's overachieved at Celtic this time, but do you think that Martin O'Neill has? He wasn't expected to do what he did. Do you know? He wasn't expected to get us so close. And just think about it. If results go the way tonight, it's going to be an unbelievable turnaround of events. Crazy. I mean, every single one of us were expecting Martin O'Neill to come in, just hold the ship. Let's hope not. It doesn't. His legacy isn't tarnished by the way that this team was playing. And it's the same players that were playing under the previous manager. So it just goes to show you. It does go to show you how much manager can change things. And let's just hope that the new manager coming in can change things even more and just take us to the next level. Will Baz from the Seven Oaks, number one CSC. Mate, do you actually stay in Seven Oaks? That's a blast for the past. That's a blast for the 1990s for me. There's a story there. But yeah, Seven Oaks, and it only had one oak because they all got blown down in a storm in the early 1990s, didn't it? It was famous for the seven oaks that it had. There we go. And then there was one. There was only. I'm sure there was only one left or something after that storm that year. Does anyone know if Nancy will watch tonight? Allegedly, he will be at the game. If Celtic are going to do it right, I think what Celtic will do, they won't bring him out into. I mean, do you bring him out and sit him in the director's box, or do you put him in one of the wee corporate places up the back of the stadium that's got TVs and that in it, so he could sit in there and watch it from there? He might want to go in the stand. Do you know, he might sneak out very last minute before kick-off, once Martin O'Neill's on the pitch and everything, to not take the shine, because he doesn't want to take the shine off of Martin O'Neill in his last game. And I don't think that there's ever been another time where we've had such a good stand-in manager. Do you know, it's like just going to stay for that one more game, Martin, so that we can get him in and we can get everything done. I mean, usually you're champing at the bit to get a new manager in. Seen Big Wilford this afternoon in Greg's in Annie's Land. Two steak bakes and a yum yum. Nancy looks like the black polo neck and black Gillett look smart trousers. I'm wanting him in a trackie. I'm wanting in the trackie. I'm wanting him in the Celtic tracksuit. Take it up to 80,000. There's not the appetite to take it to 80,000, James. The Celtic board will tell you that. Listen, see when it gets to 10 minutes before the end of a game, and you've got 20, 30,000 people wanting out the stadium. Add another 20,000 onto that, and you're going to add another 5,000 leaving the game early to 10,000 leaving the game early. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Do you know, Celtic have to do, they have to put in better parking facilities somewhere, because too many people in the modern day in Scotland drive to Celtic Park, and that's the big issue. Parking's a big problem round about Celtic Park. Has been for years. Has been for years. Trying to get parked anywhere near it, walk to the ground. It's a difficult situation. It's a situation that big major teams in major cities around Europe. I mean, I could think back to Atletico Madrid not last year, a couple of years ago now, and they had a big car park next to the stadium, massive car park next to the stadium. But the majority of fans stay in the city. And this is where Celtic's quite unique when it comes to 60,000 people, because the majority of the 60,000 people, a big chunk of the 60,000 people, do not stay in the city. So you then got transport issues. And until Glasgow City Council and Celtic can modernise the infrastructure, and then I would say, yeah, but that needs to happen first. We can't just. I don't even think you need to knock down the old stadium. You could put a steel structure over the top of the old stadium, but it's billions, Baz. Diane says about the stadium in Barcelona's building. It's crazy because everybody was talking about the fact that they were skint. Tenecte on left wing, Yang on right wing tonight, maybe. Well, you were a bit late with that, mate, because, sorry, I'm just getting to it. Barcelona's around €1 million. 1 million euro. Unbelievable. Right, I'm going to jump through the comments. Paul says, Martin's done exactly what I expected. Yeah, you always knew that he's... But then again, he got sacked for his last job. So did Brendan Rodgers. So... Does it show you? Here's a question. Does it show you how easy Scottish football is? That Martin O'Neill can come in. Let's do a poll question. And it's an honest one. Is Scottish football in easy mode as a 73-year-old comes in and gets manager of the month? There's the question for you. Is Scottish, and it's maybe a bit of a wind up to other teams, but is Scottish? No, it's a serious question. Is Scottish football in easy mode when a 73-year-old manager could come in and get manager of the month? Just as easy as how the Celtic job is in this league. There's a bond and magic between Celtic and Martin O'Neill. There is that. It's not just a magic, is it? It's. I'm actually gutted that I've never been back home, because gutted that I never got to go back and see Martin O'Neill again, because I would have loved it. I'd have been all over that. Do you know what I mean? I'd be one of the last out of Celtic Park every night. I'd be there hours before to see the team bus come in. Do you know? I just would have been. I'd have been in bits if I was back home, and it's just unfortunate that he's no longer going to be the manager when I get home and around about 11 days' time, which is just sad for me personally. It's more little sad sacks. But anyway, has Martin O'Neill done what you expected? Yang's got more confidence, going to be a player. Tenecte, no end product, needs to improve. That's interesting. Brendan Rodgers has to take the fault of the style we were playing. Brendan Rodgers pass back shite ball. Tonight's the Yang Man's. Do you think it's young man's? Do you think that he can? And I tell you one thing: what a turnaround in that boy's career. Do you know? And what if he gets to the end of this season and he's cemented his place in the team? That would just be bonkers. Do you know he was down in Birmingham. He had personally signed the deal with Birmingham. He was waiting on Celtic getting their act together, and purely for the fact that Michael Nicholson wouldn't pick up the phone to sign a document, to agree to sign a document for them to hand us £3 million. And then they went, no, it's taking too long. Their window's shut at 7 o'clock, so they pulled the plug on it. 6 o'clock, and they went, bugger that. It's taking too long. Thanks for the super chat, Danny. Much appreciated as always. Legend on the channel. But when you look at Yang, if he gets to the end of the season and the incoming manager goes, do you know what? You're actually a bit of a player, lad. Brendan Rodgers is going to have one brass neck to even if he mentions so. If Brendan Rodgers goes back into management, I mean, there's talk about Brendan Rodgers going to Leeds to work for the 49ers. Now, that would be something else. But if Brendan Rodgers does walk into management at any time soon and he's asked about anything about Celtic, he has to turn around and say, look, it's in the past. I've moved on. He cannot say a single word because the players that he threw under the bus, and the players that he deemed were not good enough, and Yang was one of them. If he turns out to be more than good enough, remember when Yamada got an entrance to the fans against Newcastle? Look how that's went. We don't see some of these. Better for him not to sit in the director's box, my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be sitting in the director's box. But that's usually where people sit, isn't it? I mean, that's where, if your new manager's going to be watching, I think he'll be watching from inside Celtic Park, and not to take the limelight off of Martin O'Neill in his last night. It has to get a draw tonight, if not get beat. I hope they do, because then that would just put Celtic in dreamland, and that would put us. I will try and have the live SPFL table on the screen somehow tonight. As of the Roma game, big announcement from the channel. As of the Roma game, instead of during the watch along, instead of static teams here, we're going to have interactive team. We're going to have the opposing team. We're going to have Celtic team. So you'll see who gets yellow cards. You'll have the goals will come up automatically, so I won't have to do anything with the goals. And it could even have the league table and how that changes throughout the evening. So I'm looking forward to that. There is 147 votes in on the poll already. There's 1,500 people on the channel. Come on. There's been over 1,600 people watching. Make sure that you vote. There's only 150 votes. There's currently 595 on the video. I'm loving this two-screen stuff. It makes it way much easier. Should have done this a long time ago. Scottish football in easy mode as a 73-year-old comes in and gets Managers of the Month award. 67% say no, 33% say yes. That's interesting. I would have thought there would have been a big percentage for no, because if you want to talk elite managers, and what I mean, is it an easy mode for an elite manager? Brendan Rodgers thought he was an elite manager. A lot of fans thought that Brendan Rodgers was an elite manager. Why is that kind of thing? And it's just an interesting thought that if any elite manager comes in and comes to Celtic, you know, they're going to just wipe the floor with everybody else in the league, and that's what Martin O'Neill's done. So that's why the question is Scottish football in easy mode as a 73-year-old comes in and gets Managers of the Month award? I think it shows. I think there'll be warning signs to every other. Damn. I just noticed that nothing. Um, it's one of those days. Never mind. Take it. Um, oh man. Oh no, 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 no. That's just put ads on. Get that off, manual. Sorry about that. If you've just seen an advert, that shouldn't have come on. Google just changed something right when I was live. But anyway, let's jump back into the comments. Sev's got to lose 2-1. Well, who cares about them? Um, bottle of wine, bottle of wine, bottle of wine. Go on yourself. But as you don't care what the board want. Nah. I, I'm not particularly bothered what this board want, to be honest. We want to go top tonight. If they draw the top, yeah, I don't want them to draw tonight. I want them to get beat. It's the same here. So many fans leave early due to traffic. It's understandable. It would be fair. It's the same, and not, that's interesting. But it's weird because I mean, I can only go, but it's maybe because it's a different culture in where I'm staying. People aren't taking cars to the game. Do you know, it is support your local team stuff still in this country in a big way. And when you've got a 30,000 seater stadium, the majority of the 30,000 stay in the town that's associated with it. So yeah, it is interesting. Although Elche's got a big car park as well, so but they do get a lot of people coming in from round about. But yeah, it's interesting. Um, hmm. Nancy is a Tisdale side in. Do we really? Are we really going to go down that road? Sorry. I mean, I don't care what the board want. Oh yeah, you don't care what the board want. Yeah, me neither. I can understand them coming in, having a pint, but what the fuck would you leave early? It's, no idea. Um, I never used to do it. I've still got pictures on my phone of me being in Celtic Park after the final whistle, after the team have walked off the park, and I'm still coming out of Celtic Park, and I still get back to the bus parking time behind the Emirates. I still got back to the bus parking time way before the buses left. So, you know, stadium has a lot of empty seats in midweek games. Why would a bigger help the look? It wouldn't. We slag Hibs for having half empty stadium at the weekend. Yeah, we did. 80,000 is a lot. You would have to take it up to at least that anyway. Do you know, you would have to take that. I'm sorry, I'm just going to jump through these comments. It's so easy, you can go and beat Feyenoord, and that's not Scottish football. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's an elite manager. Martin O'Neill's an elite manager. I'm talking about, is Scottish football in easy mode for elite managers? Do you know, there's not many teams can go out and bring an elite manager in. We brought in Brendan Rodgers, who we thought was an elite manager. There's other people, Martin O'Neill, elite manager. Some people would say that Ange Postecoglou, people from the other side of the world would say Ange Postecoglou was an elite manager. Do you know? So you've got to look at it from that perspective. If Brother Wilfred comes in and he's been classed as an elite manager over in the USA, you know, he got manager of the year. He took the club to the Champions League final. They got beat by South Americans. I think most North American teams, when it comes to a Champions League final, would get beat by South Americans. Let's be fair, because South Americans know how to play football. It's inbred in them. You know, it's not a new sport. Soccer in America is a new sport. So I would expect, me personally, I'd expect South American team to win the Champions League all day long over there. So if this guy is an elite manager, he should hit the ground running, and he should shake up Scottish football. He should do the same as what Ange has done. He should do the same as what Brendan did. Maybe not to that extent, but you never know. You never know. Hence the reason for the question. Is Scottish football in easy mode as a 73-year-old elite? I should have put elite manager. Elite manager comes. But then Martin O'Neill wasn't elite manager after he left Celtic. I mean, he went to Aston Villa. Um, he, he went to Leicester, got sacked. Um, do you know? So just goes to show you. Just goes to show you, and give your. And this is why I say that Ange. People on the other side of the world would say that Ange was an elite manager. He proved it over there that he was an elite manager. He came to Celtic, he was an elite manager. He didn't get the run in Europe that he wanted. He went to Spurs, he won the Europa. That's elite manager stuff. Do you know? He didn't just earn that right from Celtic. He's that history of elite managers. So I just think that and it's interesting to see the vote sitting at 38% say yes. Scottish football is in easy mode as a 73-year-old comes in and gets manager of the month. Elite manager, I should have put, apologise. And then 62% say no, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's never easy. But I mean, do you really put Ronnie Dyler up there with? I mean, Ronnie Dyler still won the league. You know, but Scottish football is rubbish. Right. No, Martin O'Neill was showing what Brendan Rodgers was doing wrong. Best squad in the league. That's a that's a total bitch slap, isn't it? And it's true. It's true. Nobody can. Nobody can. I can't even defend Brendan Rodgers now. None of us can. None of us can defend Brendan Rodgers after what's what's went what's went on. Maybe tonight to sat and watch videos of Jota. Maybe Scottish League is the hardest in the world. Oh Jesus! Could I start drinking? uh, Pity I can't get these comments to come up for the watch along. Thanks for the memories, Mark. Yeah, that's what we should be saying. It should be thanks for the memories. Let me just change this down the bottom. I always like to see a Celtic coach turn up and greet the players. I always like to see the Celtic coach and turn up and see the players. It's always good when you're over early. The Yang Gang. Martin O'Neill did the simple things well. Brendan Rodgers complicated things. You can't disagree with that statement. Do you know? Nobody can. There's no argument that anybody can put forward for what Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill. I mean, everybody's talking about. Casper Schmeichel's been speaking about Martin O'Neill going old school, and if that's what it takes, don't know. It's just like fuck all this bullshit. Just get the ball down, pass forward, go and score goals. Simple. Don't know. Football's not a hard game. Football hasn't changed. Well, it has. Football hasn't changed in the end game. The end result is a win. What's changed is managers and modern managers and technology and managers coming in and saying, right, we're going to do this. And there's a lot of people actually saying that managers these days are actually taking the raw football ability away from players. They're taking that rawness that you get from a player, that when he just puts his head down and puts his head up and he looks and he does his thing. What we're getting players to do now is we're coaching them to play a position. Do you know, you had your positions when you were when an old manager, right? But Billy McNeil went forward. Do you know, Roy Aitken went forward. You could say that Liam Scales was going forward, but you had players with ability. You know, players the likes of Jota. Do you know? Tell me, stick to the edge of the pitch and do your stuff. Just run at teams. Just do your things. Do you know? Could you imagine Jimmy Johnson trying to play for a Brendan Rodgers style of football, where it's like, well, if you can't take on your man, pass it back to the fullback and he'll pass it back. Jinky Johnson would have went, away and fling shite at yourself. Actually, away and fling shite at yourself. Who's trying to phone me? Breaking news. There is breaking news at Celtic Park. Breaking news. Celtic have delighted to announce the appointment of Wilfred Nancy as football manager. Breaking news coming out of Celtic Park right now. Celtic have announced it. Thank you for that. Star, as always, is breaking news tonight as we speak. Breaking news that Celtic have announced Wilfred Nancy as the new Celtic manager. Let's get on to the land of. Let's go into Celtic. Have got it on the website? Confirmed Dundee final game. Celtic FC. Celtic, I've got it on the website. Celtic are delighted to appoint Wilfred Nancy as the new manager. Let's do this over here. Let's get this up here. Oh, not that one. Both. That's better. Just the one screen. Brilliant. It has been confirmed by Celtic that he is the new manager. Celtic Football Club is delighted to announce the appointment of Wilfred Nancy as the new football manager on a 2.5-year contract. Wow, that's quite a shock. Quite a shock. Only a 2.5-year contract. It's not as big as I'd maybe thought. Celtic maybe protecting themselves a bit. Celtic Football Club delighted to announce Wilfred Nancy as the new manager. I don't want that to move. I want that's it. Wilfred joined Celtic from MLS club Columbus Crew, where he lifted the MSL Cup and the League Cup, as well as being named as MLS Coach of the Year in 2024. Prior to that, he also won the Canadian Championship with CF Montreal in 2001. Looking forward to his new role with real excitement, Wilfred commented, "I'm really so happy to be named as Celtic manager. It's a massive honour for myself and my family. Before I say anything else, I want to do one thing. I want to thank the great Martin O'Neill." Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh. Before I say anything, I want to do one thing. I want to thank the great Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney for everything they have done in recent weeks with the team. The job they have done has been fantastic. These guys have given so much to the club across many years, and I know our fans, like me, all recognise the brilliant job that they have done during this recent period. They have my total respect and my total gratitude, and I hope to meet them both very soon and thank them personally. Oh, mental. Absolute mental. It's now up to me to carry on the great work and take the great club forward. I can't wait to get going and become part of such a brilliant institution. Don't call it an institution, mate. That's what the other crosses say. Celtic is one of the world's proper football clubs. Real atmosphere and heart and soul. Real high standards, real demands, which I am ready for. I know the history. I know the values. I know the values and I know what's expected of me in this journey. I know what it means to so many people. And my number one aim will be simple: to give our fans a strong, exciting, attacking, winning football team they can be proud of. I was looking forward to see our fans very soon. I hope we can enjoy some great moments together. Peter Lawwell puts out a statement. I think that we'll just. Peter Lawwell says we are really pleased to welcome Wilfred to Celtic. He's a manager with a record which demonstrates the kind of football we know Celtic supporters will love to see. We give Wilfred our support and we look once again to bring success to our fans. I want to express our sincere thanks to Martin, Sean, and the backroom for everything they have done in recent weeks in the interim period. They've done such a tremendous job stabilising the team, restoring a real level of confidence with some fantastic results domestically and in Europe. Martin has shown the kind of leadership he was renowned for, together with Sean and others in the backroom team. They've all given us a level of quality, which has been important in recent weeks. Everyone at the club offers our appreciation for the job they have done. Michael Nicholson added, we've been aware of Wilfred and his quality of work for some time. He was our number one candidate when we began the process to appoint a new manager, and we are delighted that he has agreed to join the club. I know he is hugely excited about the opportunity to be part of Celtic's future. We will give Wilfred every support to face the challenges ahead, with the aim, as always, to deliver the success for the football club which our supporters deserve this season and beyond. I also want to thank Sean Maloney, Mark Fotheringham, Stephen McManus for all they've done in recent weeks. They have shown such high level of professionalism and commitment in supporting the club in a difficult moment, and we will forever be grateful to them for the fantastic contributions that they've made. The principal shareholder, Dermot Desmond, said, in appointing Wilfred to Celtic, we believe we have brought in a hugely talented manager to the club, a man who absolutely understands the demands at Celtic. He's a man of real humility, but also a man with his own ideas, his own vision, his own personal drive and desire to do well for the club and our supporters. That will be important going forward, that he has that. Everyone at the club will unite strongly behind Wilfred as we move forward, and we will give him our unswerving support as we strive to achieve our objectives. I want to add my heartfelt thanks to Martin for all he's done in recent weeks. He was a man that we could hope that would bring in at least a few weeks positivity, and together with Sean and our other coaches and players, they've done a wonderful job. I will always hold Martin in such high regard for what he's done for Celtic. A man of such professionalism, integrity, and someone who is undoubtedly always has the best interests of Celtic at his heart. That's a dig. That's another dig at Brendan Rodgers from the Celtic hierarchy. Liam, if you can get me a ticket, I'll go. Just saying. If there is any tickets, go and spare. Get me one. So that is the statement from Celtic Football Club. It is official that brother Wilfred, is the new Celtic manager. Breaking news this evening. It's always typical of Celtic. I'd do it 45 minutes before. I feel like Martinino has died and this was his eulogy. Tell me about it, Michelle. God. Is that Desmond or Lawler still a fair difference from the one the Rat got? I think that's definitely a Dermot statement, the final part, because it had a dig. It had a dig at Brendan Rodgers at the end. I mean, that's a massive dig to Brendan Rodgers. Do you know that ending from Dermot Desmond? I will always hold Martin O'Neill in such high regard for what he has done for Celtic and for what he is as a man a man of such professionalism and integrity, someone who is undoubtedly and will always have the best interest of Celtic at heart. That's a dig at Brendan Rodgers, saying Brendan Rodgers didn't have Celtic's best interest at heart. Do you know, that's another. If there was ever in doubt, um, if there was ever in doubt that there's been the Brendan Rodgers has been in it for himself. Um, we move on for Brendan Rodgers. We're on a new era. Brother Wilfred is time to engage. Time to engage swagger. It is, isn't it? Um, Definitely. Yeah, Desmond up to his usual with the last sentence. Definitely, Lorne. Um, I think that it's a statement and a half. Do you know? It's a statement and a half by Celtic, and the fact that he had another dig tells you all. It does tells you all. Says everything. Do you know? And here's to. I need to go and get a drink because all I've got is a cup of tea. Here's to brother Wilfred. I'll ask my ticket. She gets tickets for Hampden. Perfect, mate. I'll buy you beers. I'll not buy you merchandise. I'll buy you beers if you can get one. But Jesus, I did wonder when Celtic would do it. I mean, would they do it now? What that does is that allows him to go and take his seat in the stand somewhere. Is it? Will he? I don't. Will he sit in the director's box? Oh, all eyes are now on Celtic. Because they've announced it, they know that he's obviously in the ground. He's in the. Well, that's an interesting one as well. What's happening to the backroom staff? We don't know. The board are always going to come out and thank them for the job that they've done over this interim period. Wilfred Nancy will want to bring in his own men. It's been alleged that he wants to keep someone that knows the Scottish game. That could be Sean Maloney. Could it be Mark Fotheringham? Do you know? That's it. Yeah, get one last final dig and move on. Up the table, back to where we belong. Exactly. And I think that's it put to bed. You know, that's the Rodgers era, tucked up in a pillowcase and thrown away. Rodgers' only interest was fixing his reputation. He's gone. Brother Wilfred is here. We go forward, and I hope that he does go forward, and I hope that he gets the success, because if he gets, see if he's as successful as Ange Postecoglou, see if he wins a treble this year. He's only here for 2.5 years. If he wins a treble this year, and he wins one next year and the one after, statistically, he could be the most successful Scottish Celtic manager ever. But you never know. We just need to go with it. The board only thank people when they're usually away. Yeah, I know they do, but Sean Maloney's not going away. Sean Maloney still has a job at Celtic. Sean Maloney can go back into his pathway manager's job. Sean Maloney's all that he did was got to move to a different department. So McManus will go back to the B team. Sean Maloney will go back to pathway manager, and the only one that's up in the air is Fozzie. And I hope Celtic keep him. To be honest, I'll be devastated if Mark Fotheringham is allowed to leave Celtic, especially what they've done over the last 5 weeks. It's been phenomenal, outstanding. Do you know? Fantastic. There's so many accolades that could be given to the backroom staff at Celtic, because let's face it, there is not a hope in hell that the backroom staff that left Celtic would have got the results over the last 5 weeks than what Martin O'Neill and the backroom staff got. They came in when the players were at a low. They were at a complete low. Sean Maloney will be doing a lot more now. Yeah, if he goes to that job anyway. But that's it. It is announced. So fair play to Celtic. It is over. Celtic have announced the new manager. I'm going to change the title. Team news. Edit that. Even though it was a good half hour into the video that they announced it. But fair play to Celtic. DD having a wee dig at the end of that statement for Brendan. Yep, definitely. Mark Fotheringham needs to stay. I hope so. Definitely. Celtic to win 4-0. Hearts to draw 1-1. Top on goal difference. We wouldn't go top on goal difference. Scott, I don't think we would need to win. We'd need to win 5. We'd need to score 5 to go top in goal difference. Stuart, thank you for the super chat. Excellent. A game by game, no treble chat yet. No, there isn't treble chat, but I think that we just need to focus on the next 10 days, 10, 11 days, because he's going to come in and obviously he'll want to sit down. He'll want to sit down with Martin O'Neill and the backroom staff and in the next 24 hours. May happen tomorrow. Martin O'Neill may go up to Lennoxtown tomorrow and, sit in the manager's room with Maloney. He might offer Maloney something in the backroom staff, but he'll want to get the gist from Martin O'Neill. He'll want it from... And Celtic's in an unusual position. It's a position that we've actually... There's not many teams when they sack a manager and the interim manager comes in and the interim manager makes us better. That doesn't usually happen. It's usually the opposite. The interim manager comes in and just keeps things ticking over. There's the odd dodgy result. You expect it. It's an interim manager. You're waiting on a new manager coming in. You don't win all your games. You're not scoring loads of goals. There's still that inconsistency with the play. Martin O'Neill's come in and went, right, young men, forget everything that you've been told over the last year. Let's just get back to what you remember as a kid. Let's go back to when you enjoyed playing football. Let's go back and dive into that memory in your head and remember when you enjoyed football growing up and playing for your club and the ambition of getting into a first team. Go out and play like that. Go out and play. Football's not a hard thing. Get the ball, go forward. Stop passing back to the goalkeeper unless it's really necessary. Stop passing about the back. Just get the ball and let the flair players have their flair. The defenders defend. Midfielders hold the midfield, distribute the ball. Strikers get goals. It's simple. A lot of you other guys, if you see a shot, take the shot. Take the damn shot. And Martin O'Neill's come in and brought in an amazing confidence back to the players. An absolutely fantastic confidence back to the players, which no one expected them to do. If we had stumbled through the next 3 or 4 weeks and got the odd bad result, everyone would have went, it's the fucking board's fault, it's the players, they're shite. But Martin O'Neill had a bit of belief, and Martin O'Neill went, these players are not as bad as what people think. These young men are fine young men. Some of them maybe not be to the standard that I would like, but we will get the job done because that's what we do at Celtic. And everyone's went, Jesus, who is this old guy? And then you've had to have Sean Maloney, and Sean Maloney's sitting with his old boss behind him, next to him, and you've got people like, could you imagine how our captain must have felt when Martin O'Neill got announced as interim manager? I bet he went straight onto the WhatsApp group and goes, fuck me, boys, we're in for a journey here because this is one legendary manager. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable the way that he's turned it around. And he's given Wilfred, a bunch of players that are confident, that are up for the fight again. The team weren't up for the fight before. The team had just given up. And they were like, nah, it's fucking. Do you know, we still do not know what went on in the background. All that our captain said is that he had a long conversation with Brendan Rodgers, and he would always keep that private. Do you know? And I wonder what he really said. I wonder what he really said to Calmac about the club. You know, please no sack the board chance on Martin O'Neill's last game. It's asking a lot for the fans. 6-0 and be top of the league by tonight. It'll be, see if we do. I think we'll get a proper dominant performance tonight. I hope so. Stephen Johnson's going for 7-0. Let's wait until after the final for us to go top of the league and start winning trebles. No, come on. I want us top of the league this week. I want us to put pressure on Hearts tonight, and then when they come calling at the weekend, it's pipe and slipper stuff for Martin O'Neill. Complete pipe, and he could sit. I hope Martin O'Neill is allowed to come to the game this weekend, so he could just sit up in the stadium, and he'll be back down the road with his missus and his manager of the month award, and he'll walk in with this award, and she'll be like, where the fuck are you going to put that? You're not putting that in You're not putting that in the mantelpiece. Fuck off, Martin. You're not putting that in the mantelpiece. Would they stop goals? Let's go Lils. Let's just jump through some of these. Celtic Park, getting my tickets for Sunday. Such a great place. Good stuff. Yep, that's on the channel. I actually put that clip on Facebook and I got 290,000 views as well. Danny Cassie, you're on a roll tonight, mate. Thank you for the £5 super chat, Danny Cassie. Fantastic supporter of the channel. Wow, he's just been sacked. Nobody's been sacked. Make it 5-0 and Hearts get a draw. Celtic go top. Yeah, they would then. Brendan demoralised the players by sticking by his favourites, not tinkering the team, which pissed the board off. Just remember last month, I'm cautious, 3-0. Nah, I think that Celtic will go into this game tonight. And there's a cracker. Has an interim manager ever won manager of the month? No. Not that I could. I don't think in any league. I think that has to be a world record. In fact, somebody get on to Nancy's on Celtic TV on YouTube. I can't show it. That's the only thing, because it'll be done for copyright. But don't go off now. Wait until. No. Celtic TV as in Celtic TV. Right. I need to put the app on to get that. 5-0 tonight plus Scales to score. That would be fantastic. But getting back to, has an interim manager ever won manager of the month? No, I think that has to be some kind of record. And get on to Guinness World Book of Records, because I don't think that it's bound to be some kind of record. Has to be. Surely. Danny Cassidy reckons will be 3-1. That's no good for us. We can't let them any goals tonight. Now, let's not get carried away. A 2-1 would be nice. The interview's finished on Celtic TV. I need to come off this and sort out this little thing to get Celtic TV working. Saviour. Anyway, Sinisalo on at half time. Yeah, that would be good. Nancy would be the first colours to win anything in Scotland, not counting Jimmy. Shouldn't be laughing at that. Oh man, that Wilfred Nancy video is on Twitter too. Just uploaded by Celtic. It's just on Twitter as well. Perfect. Let's get on to Celtic's Twitter. And oh, there he is. Oh, he's been following Celtic for many years. Fucking yes! Look at him. He looks so happy. He looks buzzing. Oh man, he looks really happy. Oh, I'm buzzing for this now. Like, oh, for God's oh man. But anyway, absolutely fantastic. Enjoy the game, everyone. Remember, we are doing a watch along this evening. To people that aren't going to the game, I'll be coming on around about 5 minutes before the game. I'm going to say it, brother Will, to deliver the quadruple. Um, he's not Celtic's only colour manager. John Barnes. Hope it goes better than that. Yeah, he's going to go better than John Barnes. He's not going to look miserable. Nah, but sometimes you get managers that come in and they play their poker game face. You know what I mean? But he looks like he's proper buzzing. He's been following the club for years. Victor Wanyama. Buzzing. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant message for the new manager. Let's see what the prophets of doom are saying in the. Does the IRA excite you? Um, a Yank manager won't end well. He's not American. Somebody's put on Twitter, a Yank manager won't end well, thumbs down. They do know he's French, yeah. You can not tell by that accent. Um, your social media and digital strategy is so bad. Do this tomorrow, not just before Martin O'Neill's last game. No, I just said that was fine. I'm not even reading that. I can't be done with the negativity tonight because for me, I'm embracing the positivity. Right, we're going to do a big shout out to some people before we end the video tonight. Buzzing, absolutely buzzing for the new manager, and I'm also buzzing for thankful to Danny Cassie for his super chat, Tony Stewart for his super chat. Also, Danny Cassie coming with another one, not to be beaten, and Hank coming with. I've just seen that one. Hank coming with one. Also, thank you for your super chats this evening. But make sure that you do join the watch along, and we can watch Martin O'Neill's. Even if you're watching the telly and you know you've got it on the telly, just join in the chat and have someone with you for Martin O'Neill's last game at Celtic. It's a game where it's it's going to be fantastic to watch us win. It's going to be fantastic to watch us win. Sacked before Easter. What would be the new timeline? That's a throwback to the last manager that was going to last before Easter, wasn't it? 4-0 to the boys tonight. I am going to go 4-0 and Celtic top of the league because I think that Hearts could drop points tonight. I'm going to go 4-0 Celtic and Celtic to go top of the league. Tell me what you think about that. It's on my phone and TV, Sam. Perfect. Just running through these. Let's see some of the Celtic headlines to see what the headlines about the new manager. Celtic doing a little. What can Celtic expect from defining manager Dermot Desmond on appointment of hugely talented manager? Dermot Desmond's address as full as Wilfred Nancy appointed as new manager. Massive honour, says Wilfred, as he's named as Celtic boss, and Wilfred on a 2.5 year contract. And then the great French football. It's been reported in France. It's been reported around the world as we speak that Celtic have a brand new manager. And the French publication have put out the following story. They've put out a headline that official Wilfred Nancy appointed as manager of Celtic FC. Celtic have announced the appointment of French head coach Wilfred Nancy as manager. The former Columbus Crew manager put pen to paper for a 2.5 year deal with the boys. Wilfred's tenure at Celtic Park will begin on the 4th, and then it just goes on to repeat the statement that Celtic put out on their behalf. So that is coming in from getfootballfrance.com, just one of the publications now talking about Celtic, as all your Scottish ones are up there as well. Interesting evening. I am going to go for 4-0 tonight and Celtic to go top of the table. I'm away to get ready for the match. And what a strike from Callum McGregor. Yeah, hope we have one like that tonight also. Paul's going for 4-0. Have a good night, one. Let's see the legend win. Yes. Let's see the legend go out in style. And I'm gutted I'm not there, to be honest. I'm totally gutted. I watch on Facebook, Chris Paradise, just a coin on your TV. There you go. Right, time to grab a beer. Baztech, you're going to get the last comment. And that's it. It's the last team. That is the last team that we'll see from Martin O'Neill. Will there be much difference for the team this weekend, or will the new manager keep the team as is? Because let's face it, they're not doing too bad, are they? And I hope we don't do too bad tonight. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening. Thank you to the 3,950 people that have been on the live this hour. And I'll see you in around about 10-15 minutes.